Welcome to Season 3, Episode 2 of Angela Watson's Truth for Teachers. I'm your host, Angela Watson, and I'm here to speak life, encouragement, and truth into the minds and hearts of educators and get you energized for the week ahead. Today, I'm going to share some thoughts on the lies that we as teachers tell ourselves and how to uncover the truth. Visit truthforteachers.com to get the transcript, links to recommended resources, and to share your thoughts on the show. So in last week's episode, I shared 10 growth mindset shifts that you can take to enjoy teaching more. And I gave examples of negative, fixed mindset thoughts that can be reframed into something that helps you perceive your job as less stressful and more meaningful. This week, I want to go deeper with that and talk to you about how the story you tell yourself about teaching is probably not true, and ways that you can choose to see things differently. You can reframe your work to recognize and appreciate what a tremendously important job you're doing every single minute of the day. Do you think that you wasted 15 minutes today tying shoes and zipping coats? No, you smiled at each of your students as you bundled them up to protect them from the cold. That might be the most loving, nurturing gesture some of those kids got all day. Do you think that you just lost an entire afternoon to a pointless data chat meeting? No, you got to step back and look at all of the hard work you did compiling and analyzing information over the past week. You got to see evidence of just how well you really know your students. And you got to learn even more information that is going to empower you to take your kids to the next level tomorrow. Who cares if your principal's attitude made the meeting miserable? Look at what you did. Look how ready you are to meet your students' needs because of your hard work. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Do you think that you just taught a developmentally inappropriate learning standard that less than half the class truly understood? No, you helped 12 kids meet an incredibly difficult objective. 12 different kids, all at the same time. And you planted a seed for another dozen kids who are now a few steps closer to understanding the concept when you reteach it tomorrow. You see, these kinds of reframings are not overly optimistic thinking. This is realistic thinking. It's reality. This is exactly what you did. The difference is in the story you tell yourself about teaching. The story you tell yourself is how you experience life. And you have to line up your mindset with positive habits in order for those habits to stick. This is why most New Year's resolutions don't work. People choose new actions, but they keep telling themselves the same old discouraging stories. The old mindset doesn't support the new habits. And the mindset is far more powerful. If you keep telling yourself that your job is too demanding and you're never going to be able to keep up with it all, that will continue to be the story of your life. And any attempts that you make to change won't last very long. If you keep telling yourself that it's impossible to have any time or energy for your own kids and time for your family, that's the story you're destined to live. You might try to implement some family-first ideas, but your mindset will keep pulling you back to that same old story and those old patterns of behavior. But here's the good news. You can rewrite those stories about how you're helpless and you're powerless and start telling yourself that you can change things that are not working in your life. You can write an empowering story that you will enjoy living. Your new story will be grounded in the same reality, the same facts as the original story. It's just interpreted differently. It's written in a way to produce feelings of empowerment rather than discouragement. It's designed to let go of old, unproductive ideas about teaching and replace them with the mindset that you are completely capable of thriving in any situation. For each new story you write, you can choose a new habit as well. And this habit will reinforce your new story and help make it a reality. Over time, you can add more habits to support your new story. And that's what helps you create the life that you want to live. So here are some examples of stories that you might be currently telling yourself, along with a new story and a habit to change it. So the old story or lie that you're telling yourself might be, I can't have fun with my students because there's no time for it. The new story, which is an empowering truth, is that I can create daily routines that make learning fun for me and my students. So tell yourself that new story. You can create daily routines that make learning fun. And then implement a new habit to go along with it, like use a 30-second dance party to celebrate kids' work. Create some sort of habit that supports that story. Here's another example. Maybe your old story is, my district makes it impossible for me to teach the way I want to. Your new story can be, I choose to exercise my freedom and creativity every chance I get. And then you create a new habit around that. So maybe you'll find one new fun teaching strategy for every unit you teach. Choose to exercise your freedom and creativity. Another old story you might have is, I can't feel good about myself when I'm being evaluated unfairly. The new story is, I know my own worth, and I define success for myself. The new habit, to repeat your vision. We've talked a lot about vision here on the podcast. Write down what your vision for teaching is and repeat it every single day before and after work. That way you can live that new story. I know my own worth. I define success for myself. Another example, I can't keep a good attitude because I'm surrounded by negativity in my school. Your new story, your new truth, I choose to seek out people who inspire and uplift me. Your new habit that supports that story, you can join a Facebook group for positive teachers who enjoy sharing ideas. I'm going to share with you how to do that at the end of this episode. Here's a final example. I don't have time for getting the sleep that I need. Your new story can be, I make time for sleep because I know it creates more energy the next day. And your new habit, go to bed at 11 p.m. or whatever time every single night, regardless of what's done or not done. See, every time you find yourself thinking along the lines of your old story, stop and replace it with the new story, which is an empowering truth. Repeat the story you want to live. Whatever it is that you want to live, that's what you have to be thinking over and over in your mind. And you have to practice that. Practice a new habit with intention on a daily basis. This is going to retrain your mind to internalize the new story and to make it a natural part of your life. And it'll happen in a surprisingly short amount of time. Once you successfully put your new habit in place and your new story starts to become your default thought pattern, you'll realize just how simple this process of rewriting your teaching story can be. Your initial success will give you confidence in the process and in yourself. And the new story will start popping into your head automatically, and you'll see more opportunities for habits that support that story. And when you feel ready, you can stack another habit on top of the old one. So for example, if your new story is that you can thrive as a teacher no matter what kind of leadership your principal provides, your first new habit might be related to taking charge of your own professional development. You might choose to learn about a topic that you're interested in despite a lack of support from your principal. Once you've successfully created that habit, keep repeating the new story about thriving no matter what, and stack another habit on top, maybe finding a mentor for yourself so that you can hear positive and constructive feedback on your teaching. Later, you might add a habit of meeting with your grade level team once a week during lunch to share what's working and just to exchange teaching ideas informally. These kind of habits, once accumulated, help bring your new story to reality. I can thrive as a teacher no matter what kind of leadership is in my school. You can also begin over time tackling more stories. Maybe your other big problem is that you've convinced yourself you'll never be able to find the time or energy or money to do things that you enjoy. So write your new story. I make time for the things that matter most to me, and I am a priority in my own life. Then create and implement one habit related to the new story, such as maybe reading something that you enjoy from 10:15 to 10:30 p.m. every night. Then stack another habit on top, maybe going out for happy hour with friends one time a month. Stack another habit on top of that, going to a yoga class 2 times a week, or joining a club centered around a hobby that you've always wanted to pursue. Before you know it, often only within just a week or 2, you will find yourself beginning to live out your new story, your new truth, and letting go of those old lies that you used to believe. As you stack more habits, you will start to see major changes in your energy level, your productivity, and your satisfaction with work and life in general. Your new positive story will become a natural way of thinking for you, and your new habits will ensure that your lifestyle is aligned with that. You see, you can't allow lies about teaching to permeate your perspective. You show up day after day after day, and you work these little miracles with kids all day long without even realizing that you're doing it. You're probably so focused on everything that you didn't do that you don't realize how much you've actually accomplished. I am urging you, stop for a moment. Be present. See what you are doing. Really, truly see it. Let go of those lies that you've been telling yourself that are holding you back, and be open to the truth about the magnitude of this job that you're really doing every day. So to help you with this, because I know this is kind of a difficult and abstract topic, I want to connect you with other teachers who are trying to do the same thing of living out this new truth, letting go of those lies, rewriting the story that they're telling themselves about teaching. I'm going to be running a free online book club for my book, Unshakable, 20 Ways to Enjoy Teaching Every Day, No Matter What. The book club is going to be running in February, the 1st through the 20th. This group will help you rewrite the story you tell yourself about teaching, weeding out those lies and replacing them with the truth. There's a whole chapter in Unshakable about this, as a matter of fact. And the discussions about the book are going to be held in the same private Facebook group as our club from the summertime, which means there's already 2,500 supportive, knowledgeable teachers in there. They're already sharing advice, already encouraging one another. So get in this group now. You don't have to wait till February. Get in there now and start rewriting the story you're telling yourself about teaching. If you want to join the book club, the print version of the book and the ebook versions are available on my website. They're also on Amazon, so you can start reading them right away. If you want links to the books and also links to the Facebook group so that you can join the Unshakable Book Club, go to the blog post for this episode. Go to thecornerstoneforteachers.com/S3EP2. So it's S3EP2 for season 3, episode 2. And that will take you to the post that will give you the link for both the book as well as a Facebook club. All you have to do is click that link and you'll get your request to join the Facebook group, and I will approve you probably within the next 12 to 24 hours. And you will have that network of teachers that will help you rewrite your story, let go of these lies, replace them with truth. So I want to leave you with a motivational quote for the week ahead that is called The Takeaway Truth. And the takeaway truth I want you to remember is this: your attitude is the difference between an ordeal and an adventure. It's your choice whether this week is an ordeal or an adventure. Replace those lies with the truth. Have a fantastic week. You can do this. And remember, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be worth it. Truth for Teachers is a proud member of the Education Podcast Network. Podcasts for educators, podcasts by educators. For more great podcast recommendations, go to edupodcastnetwork.com. That's edupodcastnetwork.com.